In this video, we will be looking at some actions which have been described in the Qur'an which fall under the category of amalan, saalehan, or righteous deeds as it is commonly defined, so that we can better understand what amalan saalehan means. And we will also look at eemaan, belief as it is commonly translated. And we will look at why eemaan is so important to go side by side with righteous deeds. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Munib Ali. Welcome to another video on the Qur'an study channel. Now last week, in part 1 of these series of videos we are doing, we looked at the meaning of the phrase amalan saalehan, a phrase which is used several times in the Qur'an. As a reminder, what we studied was this. We studied that the definition of this is good deeds, but not just good deeds, actions which help to address weaknesses that we can see in people and in our society. Actions which bring about balance and harmony in somebody's life and in society. The second thing we studied was that there is no comprehensive list of what qualifies as amalan saalehan in the Qur'an. We studied that we have to use our own senses. We have to see where those imbalances are occurring in our society in which we live, whether that's in our household, whether that is in our neighborhood, whether that is in our city, our country, or elsewhere in the world. We have to judge and look at the circumstances around us and the environment in which we're living to see where we have an opportunity to undertake an action which is amalan saalehan. And the third thing we touched on is that there is a critical link between amalan saalehan and eemaan, belief as this is translated. There are many verses in the Qur'an which start with the phrase alladhina amanu wa amilu salihati. There is a link between eemaan and amalan saalehan, and we said that we need to study that in detail to understand it. So if you missed that video, please do go onto our YouTube channel and have a look at what we studied. And whilst you're there, please subscribe to our channel because we are uploading videos to help you study the Qur'an on a weekly basis. Now, today, first of all, I want to show you some examples of actions which Allah describes in the Qur'an, which we have to do and would qualify as amalan saalehan. There are too many to go through, but here is a list of some of them. Have a look at this. Examples include Allah instructing us to help those who are lonely and vulnerable, for example, orphans and widows. Allah tells us to help those that seek help. And look at how many verses there are where Allah tells us to do ihsan with parents. Now, we did a whole series of videos explaining what ihsan with parents means. And you may remember in summary that this was about helping to cover for the deficiencies that we see in our parents, particularly as they get older. So doing ihsan with parents, you see the link here between the meaning of ihsan and the meaning of amalan saalehan as we studied. But not only that, Allah tells us to do ihsan with family and relatives, orphans, widows, the poor, the weak, the disabled. Think about it, these are all actions where Allah is telling us to address people's weaknesses, to fill in the gaps, to help where there is an imbalance in society because these groups of people are unable to perform actions which they need to perform to live in the peaceful and tranquil way. These are righteous deeds. These are amalan saalehan. If you didn't have time to reflect, go back to the slide which I just showed you and click on pause and look at those. Open the Qur'an and think about those. Righteous deeds, amalan saalehan, it is about the actions we take with other people, with our society. That is amalan saalehan. We have to look for those opportunities. And then the other question is, okay, how can we contribute? How can we help? What sort of contributions should we be making? And it is important to note that this is not just about contributing with money, which a lot of people fall into the trap of thinking. It is not just about money. It is not just about helping with materials. It's physical as well. If you see, for example, there is a refugee crisis and there are a group of refugees that have come into a country, help them physically. If there has been a natural disaster and people have lost their homes, help them physically. And not only that, it's not just about physical actions. It can be with words. It can be advice. It can be mentoring. These are all actions which help people address their gaps and to help to bring to the fore their abilities so that they can develop and sustain themselves and live in harmony within their societies. That is amalan saalehan. Okay, now the next thing. Do you remember in part 1 I introduced the concept of the need to have belief, eemaan, alongside doing amalan saalehan if we are to achieve success in this world and in the hereafter? I explained that Allah says they have to go hand in hand. Let's have a look at a verse from the Qur'an to remind ourselves. Let's have a look at Surah Al-Hajj, which is 22, verse 50. Those who believe and do righteous deeds shall be granted forgiveness and the most noble provisions. So here, Allah saying, Alladhina amanu, those who believe. Now, belief is probably a very simplistic translation of the word amanu, but let's just go with it for now because I want to do a separate video which is going to describe amanu or eemaan in proper detail, but let's just take this as it is for now. Alladhina amanu, those who believe, wa amilu salihati, and do righteous deeds. Do you see? Do you see the link here? Alladhina amanu wa amilu salihati. Those shall be granted forgiveness, maghfiratun, wa rizqun kareemun, and the most noble provisions. So if we are looking for Allah to forgive our misdeeds and we're looking for the most noble, the highest of sustenance in this world, then we have to do both. We have to have eemaan and we have to do amalan saalehan. There are many verses I could have chosen to demonstrate this link to you from the Qur'an, but let's just take this one for today. So there is a clear link, but what is that link? Why is there a link? Why do you think we need to have eemaan as well as the need to do righteous deeds in order to obtain Allah's mercy and success? Well, let me explain the essence of this. The essence of the link between the two is motive. Let me explain this in a few ways. Number one, a lot of people do good deeds, righteous deeds, in the way that I've explained earlier in this video. Helping people, helping societies, a lot of people do that. But their motive is to receive something. It could be to obtain fame. It could even be to obtain some kind of monetary benefit or non-monetary benefit. Some people might do such deeds, in fact they do such deeds to gain political advantages, to get more followers, to get more people to trust them, for their own desires to be fulfilled. Some people, and this is real, some people will even do such deeds in order to reduce their tax bill. Yes, a lot of wealthy people will spend on charitable causes in order to reduce the tax bill. It's a tax reduction strategy. So the motive is to get something in return for their own selves. And the thing is, it may be that the natural forces which exist in this universe and man-made law, they may align, and actually those motives may be accomplished. So somebody who's looking to get a monetary benefit or to obtain fame or to be recognized, they may still get that in this world. But there is a difference between what they get and those who do this with eemaan. And this brings me on to the second point. If you have eemaan, if you believe, and part of this is to believe that you'll be accountable on the day of judgment. Part of this that you believe that the one God who created everything will either reward us or punish us in the hereafter. Your motive when you're doing righteous deeds will not be such material things. You will do these deeds, you will give and contribute without expecting anything from those people you affect in return. You will not expect anything. You see, the people who have eemaan, proper eemaan, they are different people. Their characters are different. Their actions are different. Their soul, their nafs, is connected to God. Their spiritual status is different to one who does not have eemaan and is doing these righteous deeds for other motives. The person with eemaan just contributes, just gives fi sabilillah, according to God's way. They have no hesitation to give. This is God's way, this is God's path. Give it, do it, contribute. They have no sensitivities, they have no desires such as the ones which I explained earlier. Let's look at a verse in the Qur'an. Let's look at Surah Muhammad, which is chapter 47, verse 2. Here, Allah says, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, those who believe and do righteous deeds, وَآمَنُوا بِمَا نُزِّلَ عَلَى مُحَمَّدٍ, and believe in what has been revealed to Muhammad, which is what? The Qur'an. Now you see another link here, which starts to describe what eemaan means. And later it says, وَهُوَ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ كَفَّرَ عَنْهُمْ سَيِّئَاتِهِمْ وَأَصْلَحَ بَالَهُمْ, which is the truth from their Lord. He will cover their sins and reform their condition. What you see here is two more things. We've just learnt two more things from this verse. Not only is there a link between having eemaan, belief, and doing righteous deeds, but that means believing in the Qur'an. See, we've now just taken a step further to understand this. Believing in the Qur'an. That means all the instructions in the Qur'an, not that there is a Qur'an. It is about believing in all the instructions in the Qur'an and following them. And the second new thing we've learned is that Allah will reform those people's condition. So you see here that we get the rewards in this world. Yes, we will get the rewards in the hereafter, but we get the rewards in this world too. So we're getting deeper into this. This is great. Now, one final point I will make about why there is this critical link between eemaan and righteous deeds. And the point is this: if somebody does not believe in God, if somebody does not believe in the day of judgment, that there will be a day of judgment and that there is hereafter, a destination, such people, how can they expect to be judged favorably by God, who they do not even believe in? How? And another way to look at it, if you do not believe in the hereafter, how can you expect to achieve paradise? How can you expect to achieve the destination? It's a bit like, imagine you're driving on the road and you're seeing sign after sign saying, go this way to achieve this destination, to reach this destination. And imagine you don't believe that that destination even exists. Why would you take that path? Why would you take that road? You will not take the road. You will not take the straight path to that destination. You will not reach that destination. You will not be guided. You will not take that guidance. You will be misguided. So you see that link between having that belief and walking that path and achieving that destination. Getting the rewards in this world as well as in the hereafter. Okay, I think that's enough for today, but let me just tell you a bit about what's coming up in a future video. I want to really talk about eemaan. You can see how important it is. I made the point about when you have eemaan, your spiritual status being different, that you become a different person, a different character. We need to understand that. The other thing to understand is that simply believing in God is not enough. Simply believing that there is Judgment Day is not enough. Being born with a Muslim name is not enough. Saying the Shahada, as many reverts and converts do, is not enough. You will have seen from another video of mine on our YouTube channel that Allah tells us in the Qur'an that even Iblis, the devil, Shaitan, believes in God. And he also believes in the Day of Judgment. Yet Allah tells us he is a kafir, he is not one of those who has eemaan. So what is the difference? What is eemaan then? That is why we have to do a specific study into what it means to have eemaan, so that we can become part of alladhina amanu. Okay, thank you for listening. If you found this video useful, please do click on like and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. It really helps us. And thank you for all the comments you keep leaving for us on our channel. Please continue to do that. And when you do subscribe, you'll see a bell icon. If you click on that, you'll be notified the next time we upload a new video. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
أفلا يتدبرون القرآن